Aloha and welcome back to Hanai Cavaliers. This is our island fruits litter from pre-whelp to 8 weeks old. You excited, sweetie? Huh? You can go see how many babies you're gonna have? What a good girl. So one thing we do to prep for whelping day is around day 56 to day 58, we'll do a puppy count x-ray so we can have a general idea of how many puppies to expect, so we can know if a C-section may be necessary or if our girl needs some help. So here we are with Paya.
Hello, my dear.
Hey, good morning.
So, this is what I see.
Snap. Okay. You saw right. She was expecting 7. Now, with that many puppies, we are grateful to have the vet show us the x-ray, point out where everyone was, how they were positioned, and we also wanted to make sure that no one seemed overly large, so we would know if we should be expecting any difficulties during birth. But everything looked great size-wise, and she was just very, very full of some squirming puppies. After getting this exciting news, we headed home to get Paya her pre-whelping bath, which she absolutely loved, and you'll see in just a moment her full belly. Oh, she was so large at this stage, but she definitely was in good spirits and enjoying some light exercise. And she really enjoyed our whelping area that we set up for her. And 4 days after that vet visit, she had this beautiful litter, starting with this Blenheim boy. His litter name was Coconut, and following him was Mango, which was a tri boy, Guava, a tri girl, Lychee, a Blenheim girl, Pineapple, a Blenheim boy, Lilikoi, a tri-girl, and last but not least, Papaya, which was a tri-girl. I will say we did have a scare with little pink girl on day 5. She was starting to fail to thrive and didn't have the strength to nurse, so we did do some syringe feeding every 2 hours for several days, and she made a huge turnaround. And you see them here at 2 weeks old. They are sleeping a lot, but definitely getting far more mobile, especially when they would smell Paya in there, and they were always eager to eat. And they grew really well. That's the biggest part of having puppies, especially in the early days, is that there's a lot of tracking of their weight to make sure that they're gaining and growing properly. So we do weigh them regularly to catch if any of them were not keeping up with the rest of their siblings. So now you see they are growing very quickly. We are at 4 weeks old, and they are getting a bigger pen, getting opportunities to learn to climb over things and get new sights through this wire fencing. And it was very good exercise and learning to be more mobile, having to step over this pole right here. That was a part of their whelping pen. And they would go back and forth over and over, and they started to play with toys and would get more accustomed to something with a squeaker or with a little rattle toy. And
He's
another
so cute.
weekly picture. So we're up to 5 weeks old, and sometimes I'd catch them when they were more tired and they were a lot easier to work with, but other times they were just way too squiggly, and it was like wrangling cats, honestly. So at this age, they were starting to eat more food soaked in goat's milk and being shown outside. And that laundry basket was very helpful. 7 puppies is a lot, and it saved on doing many trips, especially because they definitely need eyes on them at all times. But they loved being outside. They started enjoying a penned area in the living room to be able to see more everyday living, and learning to drink water on their own, and being near our other dogs, and a lot of outside time. This is when they were getting potty training down, and so I tried to bring them out regularly so they could learn that that is the area they should be going potty. But of course, inside, just to catch any accidents, there were the potty pads, which they did very well with. And the crates were introduced as well, and they learned that they were safe places and a place to nap and retreat, but also they would play in them. And then now they are getting some supervised time loose in the house with our other dogs. That is Melly right there, the little Ruby, and they're hanging out with Nohea on the left, and Keela was the bigger black and tan. And of course they would play with their mama Pea as much as they could. She was getting much more lively and spending more time away from them at this point. This is their first vet visit, around 7 weeks old, and they all got clean bills of health, and of course we needed to have that done before some of them started to go off to their new homes, but not quite yet. They are doing more crate training individually, eating on their own, and learning to pacify themselves even with life going on around them. You see, they would end up napping very regularly after their eating times, and then they would be all recharged to play with everybody and to just explore and get all their wiggles out. Pea would keep a close eye on them, and she would definitely put them in their place when they were getting too rambunctious. And them learning to settle while loose in the house, especially at this age, is so important. They don't always need to have someone playing and interacting with them, and they can actually get overstimulated if they aren't allowed to have nap times. They definitely need to have a chance to recharge and to just settle and rest up, because they're definitely growing very, very quickly at this age. Here we're doing a little work with the vacuum to work on desensitizing them. You'll see that they got a lot of nap times together as well. And of course they would have their individual crate times because they're getting closer to going to their new home. So of course we try to get them as ready for their new environment as possible, and crate training is a great way to do that because they know it's a safe place that they can relax, a place they can call their own, even when the world around them is changing pretty quickly in their new family. They enjoyed some sweet cuddle times together. Here is us prepping the puppy go-home bags with important paperwork, some training aids, some balls, of course, those are their favorite, and then a soft toy that they can bring to their new home with some smells of their mom and their litter mates. And here they are saying goodbye to their Grandpa Pua'a as they head off to their new adventures and their new ohanas. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed watching the Island Fruits litter. Aloha!